Shocking revelations have emerged regarding the death of Carl Dean, the beloved husband of legendary singer Dolly Parton. Social media is buzzing with speculation, and the truth behind his passing is more heartbreaking than anyone expected. If you're a fan of Dolly Parton, be prepared. This news might be hard to digest. Just before his tragic death, Carl Dean gave an emotional interview in which he revealed a painful truth about his marriage. With tears in his eyes, he confessed that Dolly Parton often blamed him for not being able to become a father. Despite his deep love for her, he claimed that their relationship was far from perfect. From the very beginning of their marriage, Carl Dean was honest with Dolly about his health condition. However, he said that over the years, he faced constant emotional distress. The accusations, the insults, and the toxicity of their relationship pushed him to a breaking point. He always tried to maintain a happy front in public, but behind closed doors, he suffered in silence. Sources close to the couple have confirmed that their marriage became increasingly toxic. To cope with the pain, Carl reportedly started using medications excessively. According to medical reports, an overdose was the confirmed cause of his tragic demise. But was this truly an accident, or was there something deeper at play? Secret sources have leaked toxicology reports that reveal shocking details. It is alleged that Carl Dean was consuming strong medications twice a day, which ultimately led to his untimely death. Could this have been prevented? Was he silently crying for help that nobody noticed? Many close friends have now come forward, revealing that Carl often spoke about feeling trapped and unappreciated. One of Carl's close friends stated in a recent interview, "Carl was a man of few words, but you could see the sadness in his eyes. He always loved Dolly, but sometimes love isn't enough when you feel unvalued in a relationship." Another source revealed that Carl had distanced himself from many people in his final days, choosing isolation over confrontation. Psychologists suggest that prolonged emotional stress and toxic relationships can lead individuals to resort to harmful coping mechanisms. Could this be what happened with Carl Dean? Was he suffering in silence for too long? Experts warn that emotional abuse, even if not physical, can leave lasting scars. No matter the truth behind Carl Dean's tragic passing, one thing is certain: his love for Dolly Parton never wavered. He stood by her, loved her unconditionally, and gave his all. But was his love enough? Or was he a victim of a deeply troubled marriage? This tragic story serves as a reminder that not all wounds are visible, and emotional pain can sometimes be deadlier than we think. If you or someone you know is struggling in a toxic relationship or battling emotional distress, please seek help. No one deserves to suffer in silence. Let's spread awareness and be there for one another. Carl Dean had always been a private man. Unlike his legendary wife, Dolly Parton, he had no love for the spotlight, no desire to stand in front of flashing cameras or be the subject of public scrutiny. For decades, he remained in the background, a silent but steady presence in Dolly's life. But now, in the final days of his life, he was breaking his silence. In a rare and emotional interview, Carl sat in a dimly lit room, his voice heavy with the weight of years of unspoken pain. His hands trembled slightly as he spoke, his gaze distant, as if reliving the memories he had long tried to suppress. "I never wanted this to come out," he admitted, his voice barely above a whisper. "But I think it's time people knew the truth." From the very beginning, Carl had been honest with Dolly about his health. He had known that there were complications that might prevent him from becoming a father, but he never imagined how much it would affect their marriage. "Dolly has always been strong-willed," he said with a sad smile. "And when she wants something, she fights for it. But this was something I couldn't give her. And that hurt her more than I could ever explain." Over the years, Carl endured moments of heartbreak behind closed doors. He recalled how, in their early years, they would dream together about what their children might look like. Would they have Dolly's bright eyes or his quiet nature? But as the years passed, those dreams faded, replaced by an unspoken bitterness that slowly crept into their relationship. "She never said it outright, but I could feel it," he admitted. The disappointment, the sadness, and sometimes the anger. Though Dolly never intentionally sought to hurt him, Carl revealed that there were moments when the weight of their unfulfilled dreams led to accusations and painful words. "She would lash out when she was frustrated, and I understood why. But it didn't make it any easier to bear." Despite everything, Carl never stopped loving Dolly. He stood by her side through her meteoric rise to fame, watched as the world adored her, cheered for her, and celebrated her as a country music legend. But in the quiet of their home, the pain persisted. It's strange to live with someone who loves you so much but still feels like something is missing, he mused. She never left, never gave up on us, but I always wondered if she secretly resented me for it. As the years turned into decades, Carl learned to suppress his emotions, choosing instead to be the rock Dolly needed. But the weight of it all took its toll. There were nights when I'd sit alone, wondering if she would have been happier with someone else, someone who could have given her everything she ever wanted. But Carl also acknowledged that Dolly had her own struggles. She buried herself in her work, in her music, and maybe that was her way of coping. Maybe she turned all that pain into something beautiful, something the world could cherish. And in a way, I admire her for that. Now, at the end of his journey, Carl held no grudges. His love for Dolly had never wavered, despite the hardships they had faced. I want people to know that I never blamed her, he said, his voice cracking with emotion. I only ever wanted her to be happy. And if I couldn't give her everything, then at least I could give her my loyalty, my support, and my love. As the interview ended, Carl looked into the camera one last time, his eyes filled with a lifetime of memories. Dolly, if you're watching this, just know I have always loved you, no matter what. In the days following the interview, the world reacted with shock and sympathy, but those who truly knew Carl Dean understood one thing. His love for Dolly Parton was real, unwavering, and despite the pain they endured, it had stood the test of time. Carl Dean, a private man, breaks his silence in an emotional interview, revealing the painful truth about his marriage to Dolly Parton. Despite their deep love, Carl struggled with the pain of not being able to have children, which led to unspoken resentment and emotional distress. Though Dolly never explicitly blamed him, he felt the weight of her disappointment. Over the years, their relationship endured hardship, but Carl remained loyal, supporting Dolly's success while suffering in silence. As he nears the end of his life, he expresses his unwavering love for her, hoping she knows he always loved her. What do you think about these shocking revelations? Could this be the hidden truth behind Carl Dean's death? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on this heartbreaking story. Despite the pain they endured, their love had stood the test of time. Carl Dean, a notoriously private man, has broken his silence in a rare and deeply emotional interview, finally revealing the painful truth about his decades-long marriage to Dolly Parton. Though their love was strong, Carl struggled with the quiet heartbreak of not being able to have children, a sorrow that weighed heavily on him over the years. This silent burden led to unspoken resentment, moments of loneliness, and emotional distress. While Dolly never openly blamed him, he could feel the unspoken disappointment between them. Yet through every hardship, Carl remained steadfastly loyal, standing by her side as she achieved immense success. As he nears the end of his life, he expresses his deepest love, hoping she always knew. Psychologists suggest that prolonged emotional stress and toxic relationships can lead individuals to resort to harmful coping mechanisms. Could this be what happened with Carl Dean? Was he suffering in silence for too long? Experts warn that emotional abuse, even if not physical, can leave lasting scars.